We go for the collar in order to transition into a collar choke. Yes, one of his correct defensive reactions is controlling my hand, but his mistake would be to follow my hand too far, so I take advantage of the fact that he's keeping his arm stiff. I post on my right hand and shift my body forward, which unloads my legs. Now I can enter at an angle into the armbar. My knee goes far around his head. I move into the S mount, clear the arms, shift my weight onto my right leg, step over with the leg, start sitting down. And as I sit, I trap his wrist with both hands. Everything here is tight and wedged under the hips, and we go into the armbar. Yes? Once again, we're here. If he doesn't defend, I obviously go for the collar choke. But let's assume he defends with his whole body leaning forward, not just the arm. I go to S mount, boom, trap the arm. Another possible reaction is that he gets greedy for my arm, blocks my leg, bridges, and goes for a trap and roll escape. That's a correct reaction too. If he does it fast enough before I get the second arm in position, he might succeed, though it doesn't guarantee success because I can still choke him from guard. But yes, people do react this way, and if he starts trapping my arm correctly for trap and roll, I want his elbow slightly shifted toward his center line. That's why I do it like this. If he grips my forearm tightly, when I start moving my arm, his elbow will shift as well. I just want to clear that side so his elbow doesn't interfere with me swinging my hips around his arm. Yes? Since I'm exposed to a trap and roll in that direction, I shift my center of gravity over here. When I start turning him slightly, I immediately post my hand on this side. Now using this post, I climb up again. I want his elbow positioned on my opposite hip. This leg is in a pseudo-technical mount tied to his hips, and from there I apply pressure to keep his elbow in place. I push from this leg and drive my hips forward so his elbow stays locked where it is. He still has another possible escape. He might try to slip his elbow out. Exactly, by leaning back that way. So before I do anything further, this arm comes across and blocks his head from turning. Now he's completely blocked. He won't be able to free that elbow anymore. I continue controlling the elbow. Now the leg from that pseudo-technical mount straightens out, and I work into S mount. I shift my center of gravity onto this leg and step over. Only after that do I release the arm. Boom! I sit down again. Catch it. So we go for the collar. Boom! Hop! Here's the arm. I straighten the leg, S mount, shift. I trap it, catch it, finish. Now one more thing. Let's say we're here. I clear space. And at that moment he blocks my landing pad. He uses his left arm to block. He blocks the movement, and now I can't easily step over. Because if I try to go over, he'll pull the elbow out and escape. That's why I can't leave it like this. When we're here, before stepping over, I'm going to control both of his arms. Even if he's gripping my bicep, which he likely will because he wants to make the armbar harder to apply, he's both blocking the step over and defending the target arm. Right? He's got a grip here. So now I'm going to pull both his arms up, staying close to his shoulder. I pull up enough to peel that hand off his forehead. Only then do I step over, sit, and go for the correct arm. So, collar grip, rotate, go high, we're here. He figures out what's going on, right? We start isolating the elbow. We can lift to increase the distance between his hand and head. Step over, sit. Now we're in this position, because for some reason, when we went for the armbar, he managed to grab and we ended up like this. Now, as we did earlier, he has 3 escape directions. First, if his elbow hits the mat, he rotates toward me and pulls the elbow free. That's number 1. Second, we'll skip this. He pushes on my knees. That's easy to stop. Third, he performs a cradle, sits up and starts compressing us. So again, 1 escape by slipping the elbow to the mat and 1 by cradling and sitting up. In order to slip his elbow to the mat, there must be space between my heel and my buttocks. This leg is more important than the other one. Sometimes this foot won't even reach the mat if he's a big guy, but this one will always reach. This compression makes it harder for him. If he starts moving away, creating space, I must follow. Always follow him. Don't let him create that space. That's the first thing. Second, when he starts the cradle, I wait until my shoulder touches the mat. I let myself be lifted. Of course, I can't let my legs pass the tipping point, then I'd lose it. But I want him to put me down. As soon as my right shoulder touches the mat, I straighten my leg. If I can't do it while holding this way, sometimes people have shorter arms and can't touch the mat and straighten the leg at the same time. Then I switch my grip for more space. So when Artur starts working, I let go, and that leg stays tight. Then I sit back up again. And now a neat trick to break his grip. I use my hand here, where his artery is, where you feel your pulse. I remove the leg so you can see it clearly. I'm not choking him or crushing his Adam's apple. I'm pressing the arteries, just like that, right now. At some point, the choke kicks in, becomes uncomfortable, and he'll try to peel my hand off. When he tries to pull that hand, I'll use that moment. Of course, if strikes are allowed, this wouldn't be the best grip for breaking his defense. But we're not focusing on strikes right now. We're focusing on 2 things. When he tries to create space, I follow him. When he goes for the cradle, I wait until my shoulder is on the mat. It must be on the mat because I need that base to create a frame with the straight leg. If I try too early, I may lack the strength. See? Until I'm down, it won't work. I can grip tightly, and Artur still gets up, and he's smaller than Bartek. If Bartek were here, it would be even worse. That's why I let my shoulder drop. Only then do I extend the leg. Let's try it.